Only just last year, the front of the lake house I've been remodeling looked like this. And with the help of my sponsor, this video's Zavatat, my front door was transformed to look like this. Now, I absolutely love how welcoming and charming this looks. Let me show you how I did it. So first, I removed the shutters and the bulky railing around the front door. This is going to relieve some of that visual heaviness. Then I spent a bunch of time doing all the tedious prep work for painting the house. When it was finally time, I used a sprayer to change the yellow siding to this beautiful gray-green. I got a steel insulated door on clearance, and I used the old door as a template to drill new holes. I only paid $20 for this door slab, and it's going to turn out so custom looking by the time I'm done with it. With all the holes drilled, I moved to mount it into place. I also painted it a beautiful berry color and installed some modern black hardware. I decided to remove the outdated storm door because partially it was breaking and I just don't like them. Then I went to install new lights and I painted all the brick mold around the door with a fresh coat of paint. The front step also got a glow up. I removed all the rotted decking boards with just brute force, and I replaced them with composite decking that's made from recycled plastic, and it's gonna give me that wood look but a lot more durability. By the fall, the house was looking like this, and I'll admit it looks pretty good, but the front door was just a little too plain for my taste. I wanted a window on the top. You can see that there is a perfect spot for it, and so I'm gonna prop up my door, remove it again, and set it up on these sawhorses. These little plastic lightweight sawhorses were difficult for me to actually lean the door against by myself, so I needed to call in some help to get that laid down. But beyond that, this is a one-person, easy, one-day job. The first step is to mark out where you're going to cut your door with painter's tape to install your beautiful new Zavatat glass insert. This window, I chose the 3 panes. It's going to look amazing next to the other windows on the front of the house and the lanterns I chose. So now I'm going to measure probably 6 times to make sure that where I'm marking is totally square and is even across the whole door. Now you're going to take a drill bit made for the material of your door and drill the inside corner out of where you marked. To create a cutout, I'm using a metal cutting blade on my jigsaw, and this is going to have fine teeth that work through that steel insulated door. I start out in one of the holes that I drilled, and I move along the line that I marked. I didn't clamp a straight edge, but if you're not confident with your jigsaw, you could easily do that to get a more perfect cut. I didn't worry about the corners until I had all the sides cut, and then I came back in on where I'd already gone through the door, and I backed into the corner like this. So it's pretty easy. Anybody can do it. Now it's important when you're cutting your door though that your blade doesn't go all the way through. You don't want it to plunge deeper than the 1.5 inch depth of the door. This is to ensure that your cut is clean on both sides. So once I have the first side finished, I'm going to flip the door over and repeat the exact same process on the other side. Measuring exactly where my cutout's going to go, putting down the painter's tape, marking with a straight edge and level, then drilling holes in the corners, cutting with a jigsaw, and getting it all lined up right. I'm not gonna lie, doing this project was surprising to me. Like, you can just cut a hole in your front door and put in glass. The answer is yes. With Zavatat, I'm amazed at the custom window offerings. You can totally transform a door to be whatever you want. You should definitely check them out in the link in the description on this video. I felt so badass doing this. I was elated when the piece came out and my cut was so nice. At this point, I wasn't quite sure exactly how to put in the glass insert, so thankfully Zavatat sends explicit instructions. If you're ever worried along the way of this process, it will guide you for what you need to know. So I figured out how to put the grill in, which side was facing interior versus exterior, and then the glass actually came separate from the 2 pieces that hold it in place. So I got that all lined up the way it needed to be, and then I screwed it in. I could have flipped the door again at this point, but I was just nervous about doing that, so I decided to screw it in from underneath. So after only a couple of hours, I was already done and ready to rehang the door. You might have noticed during this video how sunny it is on this side of the house. Of course, my door is a southern sun exposure. But I'm not worried about adding glass to my front door because the glass in Zabatat's inserts are low E. They don't transfer extra heat in your house, they just let the light in. I decided to paint my Zabatat glass insert the same color as the door, so it blended in. And on the inside where there's holes from the screws, Zabatat sends these little plugs that you just hammer into place and it makes them disappear. Then you can paint that and it looks totally seamless. You might have noticed that I didn't put any tape to protect the glass. That's because I'm just scoring when the paint is dry with my utility knife along the edges, and then taking that blade out of the utility knife, I'm going to use it as a little scraper to get my paint slop off of the glass easily. This prevents me from wasting tape, and it's tedious to tape anyway. I've also seen that liquid masking, but I think this is just easier all around. Finally, the front entrance to the lake house is as charming as I hoped it could be. I can't believe how far it's come from last summer, and Zabatat's glass insert is just the cherry on top of this exterior makeover. I hope in this video you were inspired to rethink your entryway. Upgrade and fully customize your front door with Zabatat's high-quality glass inserts. Shop Zabatat.com in the link in the description below. And thank you so much for watching. Welcome to the woods.